gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. Come to the light.
Hello, welcome back to Voices and Views.
Yeah,
And glad you guys are here to join us. I'm Zan
and I'm Charles.
and Chels, and today, did you guys? I don't know if we even had a post today, but in today's conversation, go ahead.
Yeah, today's conversation is one that a lot of people don't realize they still carry with them.
That's right, you guys. We want you to join in with us today on our conversation on bullying. That's what we're talking about. So we welcome you to join in with your comments. So we talking about bullying, and before anybody clicks off thinking, "Oh, this is about kids," let's be clear. Bullying doesn't stop when childhood ends. It just changes clothes. That's all. It just changes clothes.
Exactly. It shows up in schools, workplaces, churches, families, and definitely online.
Yeah. So if this topic brings something up for you, take a breath. You're safe here. This isn't about shame. It's about trust. It's about healing.
Yeah. Do we want to start with our announcements before we jump in?
Yeah,
Or,
and I almost forgot you guys. We do have a couple announcements. We don't have very many, but we do have a few. So before we jump any further, let's do a few of those announcements. You want to do the honors here? We just have a couple there, not many. We have a lot of announcements coming up, but just further down the road.
oh, okay. So, yeah, these are January announcements.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, laugh in the newer year, January 2nd to January 3rd. Is that today?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the day and tomorrow.
today and
And
tomorrow.
I'm thinking about going tomorrow. That's at the Winter Shake. I'm thinking about
Yeah,
going.
Winneshake Playhouse at 228 West Clark Street here in Freeport. And what did they say about it? They said, "Are you ready to laugh your resolutions off? Kick off the year with on the fly improv troupe at Laugh In the Newer Year, Friday, January 2nd and Saturday, January 3rd, 2026 at the Winneshake Playhouse. Make a new resolution, laugh more in 2026. No scripts, no safety nets, just pure unscripted hilarity that'll have you rolling into the new year with joy." Yep,
Mm,
they say bring your friends, bring your sense of humor, and start the year with the best kind of ab workout laughter.
it's nothing wrong with laughter. I tell you, that's sound like a good, nice little outing there. Go out and get a few laughs.
Right. Okay. And next is Supper at Galena and Jackson, January 4th, 2026 at 6 p.m. And this is an event by Jeff Greathouse and Stacy Osborne Greathouse and First Lutheran Church at 303 South Galena Ave here in Freeport. Yep, it says everyone eats, everyone belongs.
All right, go out and have yourself a meal right here in Freeport.
Okay, and we have the real deal.
Yes.
January 23rd, they will be at the Hard Rock Casino in Rockford.
Yes, and she did send us a flyer too, so
Hmm.
I'll pull that from the printer and we'll get a chance to continue on advertising. You guys go out and support.
Yeah, that would be awesome to go to that.
Yeah, wouldn't it be? That's the
Hmm.
23rd. right here. Well, right there, not here because I'm not in Rockford, but
Right.
just a couple of steps away.
Yeah, it's not too far.
No, no. So those are the few announcements that we have received and we have pulled. So if you guys have other announcements, um, if they're not too far off, well, even if they are, because
Mhm.
we'll read them in the order when it gets close to the time. So people get a chance to remember and we get a chance to read them more than once to remind them about the announcements. So, all right.
Mhm.
Anything else we need to announce? What episode are we doing now? I'm
We are
curious.
on episode 34.
Episode 34? Oh,
Mhm.
wow. 34. Pretty soon we'll be saying 50. You realize that?
Yeah.
Episode 34. All
Yeah, it looks
right.
like we have a troll and kick. We're gonna have to
Okay.
kick them out really quick.
All right. No trolls allowed, you guys. No trolls allowed. Shells will catch you and throw you out.
Yep.
So you guys join us in on this very serious topic. We have fun topics a lot of times, but we also have those very serious topics. So
Yes.
and we do want your opinion, especially if you don't mind sharing your story. You
Right.
can share your story.
And Scunja says hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us and joining in. All right, Chels, I believe it's on you to start.
Yeah, so let's start with this question. No pressure to answer out loud. Just sit with it. When was the first time someone made you feel small?
Oh, wow. When was the first time someone made you feel small?
Yeah, and sorry, Tariq, I can't co host at the moment because I'm already co hosting a podcast. So I
Yeah,
can't co host with you on TikTok when I'm already co
yeah. A
hosting.
lot, you'll get that a lot on TikTok. They'll want you to co-host, and sometimes is good. Sometimes it's not so good, like
Yeah,
we
funny.
found
We
out.
have an episode on bullying, and someone tries to troll me and bully me.
Yeah, while we doing the episode, because and it's a good thing that it mentions online in there,
Yeah.
because it's everywhere. Okay, but did you know it was bullying all the time, or did you realize it was bullying years later when someone did that to you? Did you realize that was a form of bullying, or did you realize it later on?
I don't think you always realize it, but yeah, the first time I definitely knew I was being bullied.
Hmm. Yeah, it takes a while for you to realize it, and sometimes you realize it right away, that you're being bullied.
Hmm.
Yes.
Because I mean, statistically, nearly 1 in 3 teens experience bullying every year, and almost half of teens have experienced cyberbullying at some point.
Which tells us this isn't rare. This is the common thing bullying is. And what's common shouldn't be ignored.
Right,
It shouldn't be ignored, just
exactly.
because it's common. So what really is bullying?
Oh, I think when people hear the word bullying, they're
Hmm.
picturing someone getting like shoved into a locker or something like that.
No, but most bullying doesn't always look like that. It's not always being pushed into it. Sometimes it's quieter. It's repeated comments could be bullying. It's exclusion. It's jokes that only land one particular way.
Yeah, and it's like being left out of group chats, being talked about instead of talked to.
Oh, I know that feeling sometimes. It's silence. It's people pretending that they don't even see you, and I'm like, I'm right here. Or
Hmm.
laughing so they don't become the target. They'll laugh along with the bulliers.
Yeah, and here's something important. your intent doesn't matter as much as the impact of your words.
Yeah. Someone might say, I was just joking. And we've all heard that before. I was just joking. But if the joke keeps hurting the same person, it's no longer humor. It's harm. It's not humor if it keeps hurting.
Yeah. So ask yourself, have you ever laughed something off just to survive the moment?
A lot of us did. And that doesn't mean you were weak. It means you adapted. You got used to it. So who gets targeted and why?
Yeah.
Bullying often targets difference.
Yeah.
That's
People who stand out, people who are sensitive, creative, spiritual, confident, or quiet.
yeah, because believe it or not, research is here shows that LGBTQ youth and youth with disabilities are bullied at much higher rates. But honestly, anyone who doesn't fit neatly into a box can become a target.
Yeah, bullies often aren't strong, they're insecure, and they attack what they don't understand or what threatens their sense of control.
I've heard that before, and that point that bullies do it, they usually weak themselves, and they just become bullies to seem stronger. And sometimes systems protect popularity instead of people.
So the question becomes, why do we punish difference instead of protecting it?
Hmm, I don't know why we punish difference. Everybody is different in my book and have the right to express themselves. So why do we ask people to shrink instead of asking environments to grow then? And what is the long-term damage?
Yeah, because bullying doesn't just hurt in the moment, it actually follows people.
It shapes how people see themselves. It affects confidence, trust, and mental health.
And studies show that bullied people are far more likely to experience anxiety and depression. But there's also damage we don't talk about.
And a lot of times people like to keep things kind of private into themselves, like hyper independence, always feeling like you have to handle everything alone. So, and that's why a lot of times people just keep it to themselves.
Or people pleasing, shrinking your
Hmm.
personality so you don't attract attention.
Wow. Let's talk about witnesses. Watching bullying and doing nothing can also leave scars, guilt, fear, desensitization. You get so used to it, and it don't bother you anymore, which is bad.
Yeah, so here's a hard question. What part of yourself did you dim just to survive?
Mm, mm. That's a good question
Yeah.
there. Can you think of anything?
Um, I think I probably toned down a lot of my personality over the
I was
years.
gonna say the same toned down personality. Well, it's always been kind of tone for me, but a lot of times you get kind of, I would say, not afraid, but kind of afraid in a way to express yourself, show your talents, and you know, so you don't get singled out for this and get singled out for that. And you're afraid of being yourself when you have every right to always be yourself.
Hmm.
Shouldn't have to change to make anybody feel better.
Right.
And who might you have been if you didn't have to? Hmm.
That's a good question too.
Yeah, who might you have been if you didn't have to? Anybody out there want to answer?
Yeah, you never really know because you had
Hmm.
to close yourself off to that part of yourself. So you never really got to experience.
That's true. All right, let's talk then about something very popular, cyberbullying and adult bullying. A lot of people think bullying just refers to children and to kids, which it don't. There's adult bullying, and cyberbullying is still bullying. It's just times have changed, so people are using
Mm-hmm.
different ways to bully. And
Yeah.
so that's cyberbullying. Bully didn't end, you guys. It just went digital. It just
Yep.
went digital.
Yep. And Charlie Lewis Jr. says, show more compassion.
Yes, yes. People need to show more compassion and not just think about how they feel in certain situations. Think about how they're making someone else feel.
Right? And he
Yes,
also says, yourself, just a different version.
yes. Yeah, it's a different version. You have to change yourself and not don't change for someone else. Just also always make those changes for you. Something that you wanted, not
Mm-hmm.
to please someone else.
Right. And back to how bullying went digital.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were screenshots now, group chats, comment sections. Like we've even experienced
It's
it
just
right now
yeah.
in our comment
It's
section.
just like uh people just find it so easy to bully, and social media and being online and this cyberbullying just I think sometimes make it easier for a lot of people to be able to just go on and just bully, for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to know you. They don't have to. And what we call it now, trolling, when you're on and people just sometimes can be really, really mean and say
Yeah.
really, really mean stuff. So, you just realize those people are weak in the mind. They're weak. They need help. And it has nothing to do with you. And their words shouldn't change you.
Right.
And adults are not exempt. Adults are not exempt from bullying. And there's workplace bullying. There's even church bullying.
Mm-hmm.
There's family bullying. So it's not just kids that gets bullied. It's adults get bullied too
Right.
in all those situations.
And Charlie Lewis Jr. says peer pressure.
Yes. It is so much peer pressure out there for kids nowadays. They have to go through so much that we didn't
Mm-hmm.
even have to be bothered with. And I think about that often, that peer pressure.
Yep. And he said that's sad.
Yes. Because kids shouldn't be worrying about all this other stuff when they're trying to go learn, get an education, live their life, which they have the right to grow up, experience things like we did. They have the right to do all that without being bullied.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Charlie says, I didn't like bullies.
Yeah, me neither. I still don't like bullies. Oh,
Right.
mm-mm.
Charlie said, I was bullied as a kid.
And how did that make you feel, Charlie? You were bullied as a kid. I mean, And bullies have no reason, no rhyme or reason for bullying. They just do.
Yeah. And Vince Brooks says people succumb to peer pressure because of the herding mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, they succumb so they don't have to be hurt to go along with it to make it easier sometimes, but they shouldn't have to go through that.
Yeah, and we've kind of normalized some of the bullying by calling it accountability or
Yeah.
keeping it real.
Yeah, that what is that keeping it real to drive you crazy? You hear it so much. And it doesn't apply to everything. Um, and that's being thrown around so easy. So let's ask this then honestly. When does calling someone out become tearing someone down?
Yeah,
When do
that's a good question.
when does calling someone out becomes tearing someone down? There's ways to call a person out on a situation without tearing them down. You can have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation with them, let them know how you feel, your disapproval, without
Mm-hmm.
tearing them down,
Right.
because you have to flip the situation. If you were, you know, in that other seat, you wouldn't want anyone, you know, if they didn't have something, they had a problem with you, tell me. You don't have to tear me down,
Right.
because then now I'm going to feel a certain way about you. So,
Right.
delivery is important.
Yeah, 100%. And Charlie says, our youth is our last line of defense.
Yes, yes,
And also says, not good at all.
yes. And I know that couldn't have been a good feeling to be bullied, because you do feel singled out. And then sometimes, especially if you're dealing with it over a period of time,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a child and you are going to school and you have to face this over and over, you get to that point, you know. And if you're an adult and you know you feel like you was going through a form of bullying on your job or whatever, and imagine how you feel when you have to get up and get ready to go to that place knowing what to expect. That
Right.
takes a lot on your body and your mind.
Mm-hmm. And Charlie says, common sense isn't common practice.
Yeah, and it should be.
Definitely should be.
It should be common practice. It seemed to just went by. Common sense things seem not to matter anymore.
Yep. And then Charlie says, when it's premeditated. Yeah, that's kind of the
Mm,
worst.
yeah, yeah. Some bullies do. It is premeditation involved.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly what they're gonna do. They planned on what they're gonna do, and they will literally plan stuff to bully somebody. You
Yeah.
know, so and we're talking about this cyberbullying. Just think of how many stories and how many cases of cyberbullying you've read about. You know, where some youth end up just unaliving themselves or going through a very difficult situation because there was some idiot out there that just felt like doing it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for no reason. And we have to just put our arms around our youth and let them know it's not you, baby. It's not you at all. It's them. Believe
Right.
me, it's not you. It's not you. You be you. You have the right to be you. It's them. Trust me. And a lot of it comes from jealousy.
Yeah, that's true. And back to accountability, I think
Hmm.
accountability corrects a behavior, but bullying actually destroys people.
Yes. And
So that's the
you know, you have to
difference.
think about if the bullies, do they actually think about they're destroying somebody by some of their actions, or they just don't care. And adults often excuse behavior we never accept from kids. And that is so true. Um, if you have a child that you know is bullying kids at school, and
Hmm.
you're aware of it, and you don't step in as a parent and step in. And when I say step in, you know what I mean, to step in on them, right? If you're from old school, you know where you're supposed to be stepping in on them at. But step in and do something about it. Do not let your child be one going out there bullying
Right.
nobody, because that can flip in a flip. And parents have to stop being that. They go up there and they be bullying themselves, going up to the
Hmm.
school. You thinking, well, I'm going to call the parent. This going to be okay. And then you say, oh, I see where so and so got that from. Once you meet the parent, I see exactly where they got it from. So adults do often excuse kids' behavior, and they shouldn't. Um, a lot of stuff, yes, time has changed, but we can't just keep blaming it and putting that on. Times are
Right.
different now. Well, so respect is still respect.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have never changed with the times. Who said that was outdated? So
Right. Wildy Bear says, hey, hey,
hey,
haven't seen you in
hello.
forever. How have you been?
Yes, thank you, everybody. TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and everywhere, YouTube and everywhere we're connected here, StreamYard. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is a very serious, important topic, and thank you
Hmm.
guys. We appreciate you keeping the conversation going with your comments.
Yep.
So, we're going to go into now healing prevention. We got to talk about healing. After
Yeah,
all
let's
of
let's
that,
let's read a few of these comments
we
and then
got
we'll
some
jump
comments
into
coming in.
healing. Yeah.
Okay. Because we
Charlie
get
said,
time. We got
yeah.
plenty of time.
Yeah, Charlie said, thanks for creating this space.
Oh, you're so welcome, Charlie. You're so welcome. And people don't realize sometimes just if they just get a little space, and that's why this is Voices and Views,
Right.
where people can come and they can express their voice. They have a right to.
Mm-hmm.
We believe they have a right to hear. They can and give their views. Everybody's entitled to their own views.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why we're Voices and Views. And we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys for being there and giving us conversation and supporting us. And remember, if you haven't already, go on our page and follow and like and do all the good stuff you can do to it.
Charlie says, I feel better now.
No,
I
yes,
love that.
we still got a little bit more, Charlie. Don't go anywhere. I'm glad you feel better. And it's just conversation. Sometimes things we think's not important,
Mm-hmm.
or we think, oh, it's over. People don't do this anymore. Oh yeah, bullying is really big still.
Yeah.
Especially with the use of the cyberbullying,
Mm-hmm.
that people can just get online and hide themselves and just be a bully. you
Yeah.
know. So, excuse me, it's bigger.
Charlie says, it's apparent that you are a parent.
Yes. But Charlie, I'm a parent, but my boys are, well, my boy that's still with us now, he's grown, but I have worked around children as a daycare provider and as a school teacher, and just
Hmm.
being around them and seeing that bullying starts early. These kids start bullying at a very young age.
Yep. And Vince Brooks
Hi,
says
Vince.
bullies rebel without a cause for several reasons and can't see they're hurting someone else because they're hurting.
Yeah. And they're hurting and they need a way for them to get it out. And unfortunately, sometimes they're getting it out in a bad way. So that's why I say where the parents come in when you recognize that your child is being a bully because you know your child. Let's stop acting like we don't know our damn kids. Let's stop acting like we don't know them. You know your child. You've heard stories from their friends. Somebody's talking. Somebody said something. Let you know your child is rotten. Your child is bullying at school. The teachers then told you. Somebody then told you. Instead of going on a negative against them, find out what's going on with your child. What's the reason
Hmm.
that they're bullying? First of all, they'll tell you if you talk to them about stuff. Kids will tell you if they feel comfortable. I say with that, they will tell you and just open up and then see what you can do about it to prevent it, to get them to stop. Because always think about there's another child on the other end of that.
Yeah. Charlie says, now I see.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's another, always another end. And I'm glad in this segment here we talk about adult bullying because people think, oh, adults ain't bullying people. Sometimes we as adults think, well, I wish somebody would bully me. Well, there's different ways. You might be getting bullied and don't even know it.
Right.
There's all kind of ways you can get bullied as an adult, but it still goes on. It
Hmm.
still goes on. We just learn smarter ways.
Yeah.
Bullies learn smarter ways to get away with it, so
Yeah.
it don't seem like it's bullying. They try to intimidate you, and think, oh, that famous line we read, oh, I was just kidding.
Right. It's just a joke.
Yeah, we're joking.
Hmm.
And I was like, well, why aren't I smiling? If this is a joke, then we all should be laughing. Not everybody laughing, but me not finding it funny and
Right.
it's directed at me. No, I'm not going to be the pawn of the joke. So
Right.
that's a form of bullying.
Exactly. And Charlie said this is a cognitive conversation.
Yes, yes, yes. And we're hoping that some adults will be listening more closely to their children
Hmm.
to see if they're being bullied.
Hmm.
They could be bullied and find out who's doing what to them.
Right.
Listen to them and don't just, oh, you just go and do this. Don't give them no bad advice, first of all. If you can't give them no good advice, don't go up there and tell them like a fool at the school, and your kid might take that as an open-ended question and go out there and do whatever. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Give them some guidance. Find out, let them know that you're there and that you're going to find out what happened. And find out, but don't go up there snapping off at the school. You
Yep.
know,
Yep. And Charlie said, sad the seed follows what it sees.
yeah, yeah.
And let's grab this one too before we move on really quick.
Mm-hmm.
He said, honestly, being honest
Yeah.
and nice and nasty. Probably in response to, what we're talking about. I was just joking. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah, and
kidding.
with a smile, because we can be, and when we talking about adult bullying, we can be bullying you with a smile.
Right.
Adults can bully each other with a smile, and I was just kidding, and no, you wasn't. You was serious. I give me some credit for that. So a lot of times we use that, and then to make it seem like we didn't know what we were doing all along. So you
Right.
just got to be careful and think about how would you feel if somebody did that or said that to you, and is it appropriate for you to say that to somebody else. And why would you want to hurt somebody's feelings for no reason? That's my
Right.
thing. Why would you?
Exactly.
What do you? What do you get out of being nasty and mean to somebody for no reason? I never got that one. But you know what? A lot of bullies get karma, so a lot of them do.
Yeah. Charlie said an insult disguised as a praise.
Yeah, an insult and be having a big old smile on your face, and they be cheesing and grinning at you, and just throwing all kind of daggers and don't mean you no good, and just bullying you, talking you down when you're not around. That's
Mm-hmm.
another form of bullying too. People don't realize
Mm-hmm.
because when someone talks you down and you're not in their presence, that's still a form of bullying. You're not even there to defend yourself. So, how cowardly is that? So, we as adults need to set examples too.
Yeah.
We can't put it on the kids and you need to do this, you need to do. No, you need to do it because, like I said, I've been in the school system now. I know. Sometimes you have to call a parent. You be so sorry you called that, and you think, okay, I see exactly where he got it from. You know what I mean? So you have to think about those things when you think about your child, but you have to be on your child's side to find out when they not acting right, when
Right.
something wrong, when they too quiet, and you know your child ain't usually that quiet. Talk to them. They might want you to get out their face and leave them alone, but leave them alone, then come back. Don't just give up and say, okay, you ain't mad. No, you chicken, you scared of your own kid. Get in there and talk to your kid.
Right.
Your kid might need you at the worst time and say, oh, she gave up or he gave up real soon. They want you to keep trying. They don't want you to give up. You know, going to school, teaching and doing all the stuff I did around kids and therapy and all that stuff. I had to take a lot of child psychology. And a lot of times it's the parents' fault on a lot of stuff. I'm just going to say we have to be very careful with kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to run our world. Yes.
Yep.
Do we have anybody else, or should we talk about healing and preventing?
Oh, did you want to talk about, since we have some people, did you want to talk about your nice hats?
You like my hat. Why don't you talk about my hat? Yeah, promote my hat. Which
I
one?
can't
Which
promote
one?
your hat.
You
It's
know
for
just
your
as much
TikTok.
about my hat as I do. Okay, she want me to TikTok. I hope
Yeah, and
you've been
TikTok,
on
they
my.
definitely need
I
to
hope
tune
you've
in.
been on my shop TikTok. Let's talk about my hat. Well,
Before we get
we
into our
hope before we get
closing.
into our closing, Chaz want me to talk about my hats. They're available in my TikTok shop. And TikTok, you probably go on my shop. You can and find the hats. I love them. They've been selling real fast. This
Mm-hmm.
is a dark orange, by the way. We have all the bright lights here in the studio, so it looks real light. But these hats, you probably seen them around because they are very popular now. It has the bright light on. Turn it on, turn the light on. There we go. I'm blind myself. Okay, it has a bright light on the front, but it has two speeds to the light. If you don't want the bright light, you can just have it flashing with the red and the blue. But my favorite thing is the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth speaker. That's my favorite, the Bluetooth, because the music sounds so good. And this hat is thick. Usually when you get these different features and stuff, it's real thinly made. This is nice and thick. And you can wash it because everything pops out and pops back in.
Mm-hmm.
See, I just took the light out already and it just goes right back in. So everything has a pocket. And the same thing for the Bluetooth that comes out too, you guys. You can pop it right out and pop it right back in.
It is thick too.
Yeah, it is thick, and I have them in orange and black right now. That's what I have them in, orange and black, as I struggle to put my light
Yep.
back in.
She does have a couple on hand.
Yes, I have a couple on hand. Otherwise, you can go. Is it up there? Okay, it's on the screen. You can go to my shop and you can order from there. And you can check out other items because this is not the only item there. This is just one of the items there. And I've been promoting this one because it's really been selling good. So I've been doing a lot of promoting, and someone say, "Well, why don't you have a couple on hand so everybody might not want to go to the shop and they can just grab them?" So I decided to have a couple on hand. But that Bluetooth sound good. It has a speaker on each side. It's a speaker here, and it's little pockets on the side where you can take that out so you can wash it and put it back and store it back in there good. But like I say, nicely made. These are $20. They're nicely made, well worth it. I know Christmas is over. Get you one for yourself. All right. Unlike the black too, they're all made the same and they're nice and thick. I didn't realize just how fast they'll be going, but I want you to check out my shop anyway because I have quite a few things on there, quite a few items on there, not just hats, all
Right.
kind of stuff. So where are we?
All right, and back to our healing
Okay,
prevention and
yes,
closing. Healing doesn't mean forgetting what happened.
that's right. And because if you just forget, you're not really healing. You just push it aside, right? Healing means reclaiming your voice, realizing what happened to you mattered. That's right. What happened to
Mm-hmm.
you mattered.
Yeah, being believed changes everything.
Hmm. That's a key right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times you think, is somebody going to believe me if I report it? You know, what are they going to say? And maybe that's the reason why a lot of kids don't. And prevention starts with empathy anyway, with speaking up when it's safe, and with checking on the quiet ones, like I mentioned earlier. When kids too quiet and that's not them, find out why. Find out why.
Yep. If you're listening and you were bullied, it wasn't your fault. You weren't weak. You were surviving.
That's right. And if you see bullying, silence protects the bully, not the victim. Remember that. Silence protects only the bully, not the victim. So if you see bullying, report it.
Mm-hmm. Bullying thrives in silence.
Yes. Nobody, if you're being a bully and nobody's telling on this person, then that gives them room to keep on growing. And today we choose to talk.
Mm-hmm.
We choose to talk about bullying.
We choose to talk about it. Yep.
Yes, because it's out there, it's around, it's not a thing of the past, it's not just a child's thing. Adults get bullied all the time. There are some adults out there now getting bullied in different ways. So it's in the present. It's not just the past, but we can work to change it.
Mm-hmm.
We can work to change it.
And Charlie says, learning isn't concerning.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Well, since we have time, I actually
Hmm.
had a story before we wrapped
Okay,
up.
okay. We like stories.
There is a story about bullying.
Good. Let's hear it.
So let's shift from like the school hallways and group chats to a
Mm-hmm.
place that's supposed to be the safest of all, home.
Mm.
Imagine this, you're in high school, and for months your phone lights up with dozens of anonymous texts every single day. Some are cruel, some are sexual, some even tell you to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
They follow you from the bus stop to your bedroom, and there's no break, and you have no idea who's behind them. Now, imagine the bully isn't a classmate or some anonymous kid online. It turns out to be your own mother.
Wow.
Yeah, so this
That's
actually,
deep.
yeah, and this actually happened in a
Mm-hmm.
small town in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Starting in 2020, a teenager named Lauren Licari and her boyfriend, they started receiving a flood of anonymous messages that
Mm-hmm.
eventually escalated to dozens a day.
Wow.
Yeah, on the surface, Lauren's mom, Kendra, looked like a concerned parent and like she was doing
Mm-hmm.
everything right. She was meeting with schools, she was contacting law enforcement, demanding answers, but the investigators eventually tracked the messages back to her own devices.
The mom was doing it.
Yep. And federal investigators confirmed the abuse in 2023. Kendra Licari pled guilty to stalking minors and was sentenced to prison.
Now that's deep. When you think about bullying and it's so close that it's right there in your home and you're getting bullied and you going to your mom for help and everything and she's the one that's cyberbullying you.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
deep.
yeah, and the story later became the Netflix documentary Unknown Number, the high school catfish.
Oh wow. Wow. You guys go and check out the story. Might give you some more insight or just, if you know a child or anything, or you guys just talk to your children. If you have school age children, adults, talk to them.
Charlie says, nip it in the bud.
Yeah. Don't hide it. Just, talk to them. You got to get out there. Don't be afraid. You never know what they're going through. And that's a really wild story
Mm,
about that. And we're just hoping here that someone, if they see bullying, that they will go ahead and report it. They won't be afraid. They'll think about the other person who's getting bullied
mm-hmm.
and how they feel and what they like to be in those shoes, and report it. And parents need to just listen to their kids more. And if you see those changes and thinking they're being bullied, talk to them about it.
Right.
Find out where it's coming from,
Yeah.
So you can't change it or help them if you don't talk to them about it and find out, where the bullying is coming from.
Yep. Charlie said, wow, not good at all.
Yes, that's not good at all. That parent on that story, that was really good. It reminded me of another story like that. And the parent was kind of bullying the kid and stuff. And it turned out to be the mom doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
She was impersonating her daughter online for dating apps, is what she was doing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, impersonating her daughter, using her daughter's pictures and stuff,
Wow.
on dating apps and stuff. Young kid, come on now. But bullying just is not good for nobody, anybody. It's not good. It's not good for the person doing the bullying because apparently there's something going on with them that they're doing the
Yeah, and
bullying
I
that
feel
needs
like
to bend.
honestly, have you heard about that pastor and his wife?
Hmm.
People, I feel like people are bullying that lady.
They are bullied because and things like that. I don't comment on them online because nobody knows the story.
Yeah.
Nobody
And for those
knows.
of you who don't know the story, there is a
Mm-hmm.
pastor and his wife. They were attending some sort of event. I don't know, was it church? Not really
Mm-hmm.
sure. But the wife had on a dress and it had like nude colored
And she,
flesh
mm-hmm.
tone paneling on it,
Mm-hmm.
but she was fully covered. People
Mm-hmm.
just interpreted it in such a
She
way
was
that they
having,
felt like
and
they
they
had
were,
the right to
yeah,
judge her.
yeah, and I think a lot of that was jealousy because she was wearing that dress well, and they probably wish they had it. I wish they had that body to wear, but they
Right.
were going out. They weren't going to a church event. They were going out for a night on the town too.
Oh, okay.
Yep, they
Well, it
were
makes
having a
even
night
more
on.
sense that she
Yep,
dressed like
they were
that.
having a night on the town. Her husband was very happy, and she said, as a matter of fact, she had mentioned that he picked out that dress for her, and she loved it. And when people, a lot of people don't realize, they looked at it and they think it's just completely see through, but it's not. It's
Right.
so many dresses made like that now. It's another fabric material, flesh tone, that's
Mhm.
sewn on the inside of it to give that appearance. And they say, yeah, well, why would she want to give the appearance of being naked? It's not like she showed up to church like that with a big
Right.
hat to match. They were
Right.
going
Yeah, they were
out. They
going
were
out.
having a date night, and she wanted to look good for her husband. Her husband picked that out, and like he said, she looks good to me. And I guess people would appreciate it more because she's a pastor wife if she had wore a potato sack or something.
Right.
That don't stop your sexy back. Even if you're a pastor's wife, you got a right to, she ain't walking up in the church looking crazy. They need to leave that woman alone. That is bullying. And she's experiencing what we just went through, cyberbullying.
Mhm.
And because everything is all online, they
Mhm.
won't leave it alone. When
Right.
one creator put it
Passing
down,
judgment.
another one picks it up, and they just really get the story and run with it. So, yeah, there's so much cyberbullying. I want to say, as being a content creator, we're both content creators
Mhm.
also. And as being content creators, there's so much cyberbullying online that I see.
Yep.
Oh my God, sometimes I feel sorry for the people because I'll be like, you dummies, you don't even know this person. And you're tearing them down, down, down. And some of the stuff that gets said is just shocking,
Mhm.
shocking. And we got to think about that. How is that making that person feel? Because they're reading them comments. Is
Right.
that person at a fragile state where it just takes a little bit more to push them over to the edge? So we got to watch it sometimes. We don't have to agree with everything we see online, and you're not going to agree with everything you see, but we have to be respectful. We know how to flip, turn the script. We don't have to sit and watch, but we don't have to damage also. We don't have to do that.
Right. And Charlie says you can't heal what you're afraid to reveal.
That's right. That's
Charlie
right.
also says only hurt people want to hurt people.
Yeah, that's right. Hurt people always want to hurt back because they're hurting already and they want to pass some of their hurt on some kind of way. So if they're hurting, you're right, Charlie. They're going to pass that on.
Mhm.
They're going to try to get rid of some of that hurt, but make somebody else feel the same way.
Yeah. And Charlie also says you
Excuse
can't
me.
control other people's point of view.
That's right. That's right. That's right. All that when bullying is mom. Okay. Mm-hmm. Any more under
Charlie
that?
says, what happened to cognitive content? Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because a lot of times people are going for what's trending now.
Mhm.
You know, um,
Mhm.
when they post content, They don't, sensible content, things that make sense or could possibly heal or inform or touch people. They're going for a lot of the what's trending now, and that's just what happened.
Hmm. And Charlie also says, we don't bask in buffoonery.
Hmm.
Charlie said, we don't bask in buffoonery.
Right, right.
Yeah, so back to the story with the
Mhm.
mom who was bullying her own daughter. I feel like this case matters because it reminds us that bullying is about power, and sometimes that power comes from places we never expect.
Right, and technology can turn cruelty into always on attack. And when the
Mm-hmm.
person who's supposed to protect you becomes the source of the harm, the damage cuts even deeper, even deeper.
Yeah, so as we close, the question underneath everything we talked about today remains the same. Who has the power? How are they using it? And what would it take to make the target feel safe again?
Wow. I hope someone takes away something from tonight's show. And remember, bullying is never, never good. Never good. Even if you think it makes you feel good, it's never good. If you're feeling good by hurting somebody else, that's not good right there. So,
Mm-hmm.
thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. And we will be back on Wednesday with a special guest. So join us on Wednesday, and Wednesday we'll be posting soon to let you know. So just join us on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to like our page and subscribe and join our page so you can keep up with us. Bye.
See you later.
We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. Come to the light.